How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to an episode here on Let's Build Twitter. As always, I'm Ethan, or Unknown Coder, your favorite underqualified senior software engineer. And unfortunately, this is Ethan from the future to let you know that I accidentally recorded way too long of an episode yet again. I'm still trying to kind of figure out and balance how many lines of code per episode will kind of get me to that 30-minute mark. So unfortunately, I had to go ahead and cut this one in half to make it more digestible. But as always, if you guys do want access to the private repository for this project, there is a video in the description down below that tells you exactly how to do that. And in this episode, we're going to go ahead and continue working on the notification page. Specifically, we're going to go ahead and work on the top bar of the notification page, which allows us to go ahead and click through the different parts of the notification page for things like all of your notifications, your verified notifications, and all of your conversations. And then we also go ahead and work a little bit on a generic notification. That way we can go ahead and reuse that and make whatever type of notification we want. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop straight into the code and get to work. So like I mentioned, let's go ahead and open up our Explorer. We're going to go ahead and go into where our features are. And I don't know if we actually made one yet. No, we did not. So we're going to go ahead and make a notification feature, and we're going to go ahead and make a notification header slash, and then notification header.tsx. Let's also go ahead and make a notification header.css just to be safe. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and import React from React. We're also going to go and import a icon. So I'm going to say settings outline icon, except I need to actually spell it right. Outline icon from @MUI. And I need to go ahead and do it like this because for whatever reason it never actually wants to import -material slash, and this is going to be settings, maybe settings slash, or settings outlines, I think, like that. There we go. So now let's go ahead and say export const notification header. This will be a react.function component. And then let's go ahead and do this. So this is going to be primarily pretty simple. We're going to say const location is equal to use location. Okay, we're going to need to be able to navigate. So we're going to say const navigate is equal to use navigate, like so. We're going to need const active and set active equal to use state. This is going to be a string, so which one is active, and we're going to go ahead and set up a callback function to set this. We're going to go ahead and switch on our location dot and then path name. We're going to have a case / notifications, maybe notifications / verified. So if that's the case, we're going to go ahead and return verified is active. We're going to have a case for / notifications. I can't type. Oh my goodness. Notifications / and then mentions. And this one will return, and this one's going to return mentions. And then finally, the default is just going to return all. So at the top, it's going to select all notifications or just notifications, mentions, and verified. So that's kind of what we're going to go ahead and do. Whichever one is active, we'll go ahead and display more or less. Then we need to go ahead and set up a navigate. So this is going to be very similar as well. Const navigate to notifications, because we have like 3 basic or different pages basically. We're going to say e-react.mouse event, and this is going to be on HTML. HTML div element. We'll go ahead and do one of these. So here, once again, we're going to go ahead and switch on our e.current target and then .id. We're going to do something very similar again. So if the case is verified, then we're going to go ahead and navigate. We're going to navigate to / notifications / verified. And we're going to go ahead and set active to verified. Okay, we're going to have another case, and we can actually also break here. Let's not forget to break. Next case will be mentions. So if it's mentions, we'll navigate to / notifications / mentions. We'll set our active to mentions and we will break. Otherwise, the default, we will navigate to slash notifications, and we will set active to all. So that will also allow us to navigate around depending on which one we click on. Let's go ahead and say return. Let's go ahead and return a div with the class name equal to notification dash header. And then here we'll go ahead and have another div, class name equal to notification dash header dash top. And then inside here we'll have an h2, the class name equal to notification dash header dash title. And then here, those will just say notifications. I'm assuming I spelled that right. And then below that, we'll have a div, class name equal to notification dash header dash settings dash wrapper. And inside here, we're going to go ahead and have our settings outline, and its outline icon like so. SX equal to height will be 20px, so we need to make this a string, 20px, and then width will also be 20px, like so. We'll make sure that is fine. It's mad at this div. Let's see what's going on here. Now it's fine. It's just having a moment. Then below the top, we're gonna have another div with a class name equal to notification dash header dash tabs. So it's gonna have different tabs for each notification. We're gonna have a div with an ID equal to all, and it's gonna have a class name equal to notification dash header dash tab, and then on click will equal to navigates to notifications. We need 3 of these. Let's go ahead and grab this 2 more times. So copy it, bring it down here, paste it in. So here, this one will be verified. So let's go ahead and say verified, and then we'll paste it in again. And then this one will be mentions. So these are the different tabs you can click on. And then inside of here, we're gonna have some more stuff that's gonna copy paste. P class name equal to, so if it's active, so if active is equal to all, then we'll go ahead and say notification dash header dash text dash active. It's basically just going to be bold more or less. Otherwise it'll be notification dash header dash text dash inactive. And then here we'll just say all, and we can copy and paste this in a second. I am going to do one more thing here because we'll copy and paste the other thing as well. And then we'll go ahead and say active equal to all, question mark. Actually it'll be and. We're going to go ahead and make like a little nice little header active div here. Div class name equal to, this will be notification dash header dash active. And then we'll go ahead and close that div, and let's just make sure that's fine. Cool. Now we can go ahead and copy and paste this 2 more times. So this is pretty simple. And once we get the CSS, I'll kind of show you guys what's going on here. So let's go ahead and paste this in again. So now instead of active equal to all, it'll be active equal to verified. And then we'll also go ahead and put in verified on this side. So let's come down to this end, throw in verified. And then once again, if active is equal to verified, we'll go ahead and throw that in there. So verified, like so. Go ahead and paste this in again. So now instead of all, it'll be equal to mentions. Then we'll go ahead and go to the right side again and go ahead and put in mentions here. So mentions, and again, if active is equal to mentions, we'll go ahead and put that little active style there. That's the component. It's very simple. Let's go ahead and actually bring in the CSS as well, so don't forget. So import /, this is called notification header.css. Let's go ahead and do the CSS real quick. We're going to go ahead and have our dot notification dash header. I'm bound to spell something wrong here, so I might have to come back and fix it. Start with height 108px. This is just kind of what Twitter uses. We have our width. That's going to span the entire width, so 100%. We're going to have border dash bottom, and this is going to be 1px. solid, pound, E1, E8, and then ED. So it's gonna be the light gray color. Position will be sticky because we want to stick to the very top. So we'll have top 0 and left 0. So left 0 like so. We're gonna have a background color of RGBA 256, 256, 256, and then like 0.5. It's just gonna be white, but it's gonna be see-through. We're gonna have a backdrop filter, and this is gonna be blur of 10 pixels. Of dot notification dash header dash top. Here, once again, width will be 100%. We're gonna be just under half the height, so height is gonna be 53 px, and this made things a little bit easier later on. Display will be flex. We'll have a justify content, and this is going to be space between. Here we'll go ahead and have align items in the center, and we'll have a padding of about 12 px just to give us a little bit of space. We'll have a dot notification dash header dash title. We're going to go ahead and reset the margin on this, so margin will be 0. We'll have a font dash size of about 20 px. We'll have a font dash weight of 900. Nice thick boy there. Next, we'll go ahead and do the setter wrapper. So dot notification header settings dash wrapper. Here we'll have height is equal to 35 px. Not 235, just 35 px. We'll have width equal to 35 px. We'll have display of flex, justify content in the center, align items in the center. We'll have no border on it. And we're gonna have a border dash radius of 100%. So it's gonna be a circle. Then we need our dot notification dash header dash settings wrapper hover. So here we're just gonna have a cursor, a pointer, pointer, and we'll also have a background dash color of RGBA, and this will be 0.1. So just a nice little hover effect on that settings wrapper there. Now we can set up our tabs, dot notification dash header dash tabs. So this is kind of like the container. So width will be 100% once again. Here, we're gonna have a height of 55 px. Again, this is kind of what Twitter gives. Display will be flex. We want it in a column. We want it in rows, I'm sorry, but we do want to justify content evenly. So space evenly. Then we'll have our dot notification dash header, and then our individual tab. Here, our width will be 33% because there's going to be 3 of them. We don't need any gap here just because it's going to fit fine. Display will be flex. We will flex direction, and column. We're just putting flex so we can go ahead and justify content at the flex end. We're going to go ahead and align items in the center, and we'll have dot notification dash header dash tab, and this is going to have a hover effect. So it's going to be very similar to the last one. We'll have a cursor pointer, and then we'll also have a background color. So background color, and this is going to be RGBA 000.1, just a light gray color. Then we can go ahead and say dot notification dash header dash, and then text dash inactive. So if the text is inactive, we'll have a margin of 0. We'll have a font dash size of 15 px, not 156, 15. We'll have a color of pound 657786. We'll have a margin on the bottom of 20 px. And that's very important because it's not going to have the active little icon under it, so we need to make sure we have some space under it. Notification dash header dash text dash active. So the active text will also have a margin of 0. It'll have a font dash size of 15 px. It'll have a font dash weight of 800, so it's going to be thicker than the regular font. It'll have a color of black. I might want to make sure this isn't backwards, but I'm sure it's fine. This will have a margin bottom of only 16 px. You'll see why there's a margin bottom right now, because we're going to set up the active div. So finally, the last thing we need to do is dot notification header active. So if it's an active one, we'll say width is 68px. This is what the width is on Twitter. That's why I went with that. Height is 4 pixels. Again, this is what Twitter uses. Border will be none. Our border dash radius will be 2px. And finally, a background dash color of pound1d a1 F2. Now we need to go into our notification page and add that. So let's go into our notification page, and inside of our notifications page, let's go ahead and bring in, not that, let's go ahead and bring in our notification header. And now let's go ahead and take a look at what this looks like. So let's go back into our application. And now we can see we have our all, we have our verified, we have our mentions. And if you look in the top, it's going to each one. And this is that little active icon that I mentioned or showed. So it looks good. We have our little settings. It's not doing anything. I'm not concerned about it. And we can see all of our notifications. So now what I want to go ahead and do is I basically want to set up a more generalized approach to setting up these notifications, because there's like mention notifications, there's post notifications, there's follow notifications, things like that. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to set up a general or generic notification that takes in props. And then we'll go ahead and create a follow notification. Next episode, we'll create some other types of notifications and kind of move on from there. So let's hop into our code again. Let's go and open up our Explorer. Let's go into our notification feature, and we're going to go ahead and say notification. And I could probably call this like notification component or something, because there is a little bit of a conflict with the whatever it's called, the interface, but it's fine. TSX. And we'll go ahead and make a notification.css. Okay, let's go into our notification. Let's import React from, React. And then we need an interface for the props. So we're going to say notification props. The icon will be a JSX element, because different notifications have different icons beside them. Notifications will be an I notification array. We're going to import notification as that, so we'll do that in a second. And finally, we'll have children, which will be a react.react node. Let's go ahead and import this really quick. So imports, we're going to say notification as I notification from .. go all the way back to our utils here. So utils, utils / global interfaces, and that should be perfectly legal. Great. And let's also import the CSS. So import our / notification, .css, like so. Let's go and export const our notification component, which is a react.function component, which takes in our notification props equal to, and we'll go ahead and break apart our props. So icon, notifications, and children, and do that. Cool. So first we need our token is equal to use selector. We'll go ahead and say state. Let's wrap this another one. State, root state. I'll import it in a second. We'll say state dot, and this is going to be user dot token. Let's go and import our root state here. So import that. And notification is mad because we're not exporting anything. That's fine. I'm going to say const dispatch is equal to our app dispatch. App dispatch equal to use dispatch. Whenever we click on the notification, we're going to go ahead and actually get rid of all of the notifications basically, or read them. And then finally we have const navigate equal to use navigate from React Router DOM. That's all of our hooks. Go const handle notification clicked. We'll say e : react.mouse event. Mouse event on HTML div elements. Go ahead and do our this. We're gonna go ahead and stop propagation so we can try to avoid any weirdness from happening. If our notifications of 0 acknowledged, then we're gonna go ahead and navigate. And this one we need to do some work on, because obviously this is more or less specifically for the follow. So we're going to have to do some more work here. Do more work. This is just for this episode. So we're going to navigate. So if it's already been read, we're going to navigate to backtick and then $ curly braces, notifications 0. dot recipient dot username, and then slash followers. So basically, if you have a follow notification and you click on it after it's been read, it'll take you to that user's follower list. Otherwise, we'll say if we have a token, and then we'll go ahead and dispatch. We'll dispatch our read notifications. We'll pass in our notifications. We'll pass in our token. So basically, one single notification component here is going to have multiple, 0 to multiple actual notification elements inside of it, because each one's basically going to have like a user icon saying, hey, this person, this person, this person, this person all did something on your post, followed you, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and return to get this to stop being angry. Div class name equal to notification, and that should stop it from being angry. And then we'll have an on click equal to, and this is going to equal to handle notification clicked. And our class name is actually going to be a little bit more complicated. We're going to have backticks. We are going to have notification. We're going to say $ curly brace notifications of 0 dot acknowledged. So if it's acknowledged, then we'll just have nothing. Otherwise, we're going to say notification dash unread. So we're going to have a special class for unread notifications versus read notifications. So this is pretty simple so far. Let's go ahead and have a div, the class name equal to notification dash top. So the top of the notification is going to have like the icon as well as all of the different profile pictures. So we're going to have to say div class name equal to notification, dash top dash icon. Actually, I guess it's just called icon container. So here we're just going to have the icon, kind of style it up a little bit, make it look nice. And then we'll have a div class name equal to notification dash profile pictures, because again, it's going to have a group of people that basically liked it, followed, whatever. So we're going to say notifications dot slice. We're going to add the first 10. There could be more than 10 notifications on this. That's where we're going to go ahead and kind of make it smaller. We're going to map each notification, and I'm going to make it a little bit simpler on myself and say noti just to be safe here. And here we're going to return a profile picture. So let's go ahead and bring in profile picture. Again, very useful. User will equal to noti to action user, and then our size will equal to 32 pixels. Now I couldn't quite get this to look perfect. I don't know why, it just looked a little bit strange, so keep that in mind, but it is using the sizes and stuff of Twitter. And then finally, we'll just go ahead and put in children for the bottom part. Now size should be a string, so let's go ahead and fix that. And that is our very general notification component here, just because every notification is kind of an icon and it'll have a list of users that are part of that notification. And then the bottom part, we'll go ahead and just make some whatever type of notification, put it in there. So let's go ahead and do the general notification CSS. So let's go into the CSS here. So that should be pretty simple. Start with dot notification. Here we'll have width of 100%. Height will just fit content, because we don't know if it's going to be, post content or whatever else in there. Padding, padding will be 12px and then 16px. And then we'll have a border on the bottom of each one, 1px solid, and then we'll do the light blue. So E1, E8, and then ED. So that's our notification. We'll have a dot notification hover. Then we'll have a cursor of pointer, and we will have a background color of this one is a little bit lighter, RGBA 000.05. So I didn't like one is a little bit too dark, so I went a little bit even lighter. We'll have a dot notification dash unread. So if it's unread, it's kind of a blue background color. So background dash color. This is RGBA, and this is going to be 29, 161, 242, and we're going to say 0.1. It's Twitter blue, just kind of see-through. Say dot notification dash top. Here of a width 100%. The top will be 32px, so height 32px. We'll have display flex. We'll have align items in the center, and we'll have a small gap of about 6px. We'll have dot notification dash icon dash container. Here we'll have height equal to fit dash content. We'll have width equal to fit dash content. We'll have margin dash left of about 8px. We'll have padding dash top of 4px. We're gonna have display flex. We'll justify content in the center and align items in the center. This one, I got the icon straight from Twitter, and it's kind of strange. It doesn't actually center perfectly, so we're gonna add a little bit of margin and padding to it to make it center a little bit better and just make it look better in my opinion. Finally, we'll have dot notification dash PFPs, display flex dash grow will be 1 because we want the full size. Align items will be center, and we'll go ahead and have a gap of about 8px. Let me just double check that we did actually bring this into the notification component. We did. Everything should be good. So like I mentioned, unfortunately, that's going to be the end of this episode. Next episode, we'll go ahead and continue working on making some follow notifications and also the logic to get everything with that working and grouping them together. But as always, if you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Everything helps out here with the YouTube algorithm. If you do want to go ahead and see where we started from absolute scratch to get to where we are now, there's also a playlist in the description down below that goes ahead and walks you through all of that. But as always, I'm Ethan, or Uncoder. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next episode.